So my name is Anastasia Metallinou. I'm an English language teacher. I've been teaching English to learners with dyslexia and other specific learning differences for about 18 years. And I'm the co-author of English Sounds Fun, which is an intervention method for students with dyslexia and other specific learning differences who wish to learn English as a foreign language. Now, the aim of this presentation is to give a brief overview of several things teachers need to know and be aware when teaching learners, such learners. So dyslexia definitely affects reading and writing, as most of you may well be aware of. However, that's not the full story. It also affects organization, memory, the way information is processed, stored and retrieved, the speed of processing, concentration, sequencing, and time perception. Very often the consequences of this, the emotional consequences of dyslexia may be more severe than the learning difficulties themselves. Dyslexia is different from person to person. Characteristics vary a lot. And it also may co-occur with some other specific learning differences like ADD, ADHD, dyspraxia, Asperger's syndrome, and so on. So when teaching such learners, a few tips on how to teach spelling or grammar is certainly not enough. Teachers need to understand what dyslexia is about, the difficulties the learners experience, and how to support them effectively. So let's have a quick look at what living with dyslexia may be like. As I said again, dyslexia varies from person to person. Now let's imagine that this lad is our student. His name is Ben. He wakes up in the morning and he needs to get ready to go to school. He's pretty tired because he stayed up till late doing his homework. Now he wakes up in a very messy room. He's trying to get himself ready, trying to find his clothes, pack his bag. He forgets to put a few things in the bag. Then he runs to school, already feeling tired and stressed and frustrated. Then guess what? What's the teacher's reaction? He's telling him off for being late once more. Now, in the classroom, he needs to deal with several challenges. For example, copying from the board. He may not understand what the teacher is writing. It takes him ages to copy. Afterwards, he may not be able to read his handwriting. It's full of mistakes, and he may not even complete it on time. Then following a textbook. He struggles with reading and writing. And on top of this, sometimes the cluttered layout, the font, its size, the types of exercise, it's so tough. The teacher gives some simple instructions, quite a few actually, but the student struggles to remember them all and follow them. He keeps forgetting things. Reading aloud in class. He's not fluent, unlike his peers, and he keeps making mistakes, and very often he finds some students laughing behind his back. He's easily distracted by noise, loses attention easily, forgets things the teacher says or asks him to do or bring to class. He doesn't understand why he's experienced all these difficulties. Now, some teachers may not be aware of dyslexia and what the student is going through. And all these difficulties and all these things he experiences, they might just think that the student is careless, lazy, he isn't trying hard enough, or that he's immature. And the student really gets this. The student really understands this, and it's not really fair for the student. Now it's time to go home and do the homework. Very often, he's already tired, he's already stressed and frustrated. He sits down on the messy desk. Very often, he's not very sure what he needs to do. He's not very clear about what the teacher has asked him to do for homework. He struggles with planning his work and organizing his thought and trying to express them and staying focused. He feels so fed up, so frustrated, he wants to cry, but then again, he needs to keep going. He feels really insecure with his work. He's afraid that he's going to make mistakes again, that he's going to be told by the teacher. He loses his confidence. Now, all these feelings, he's stressed, he's frustrated, he's confused and angry. Now, all these feelings make him lose his motivation for learning, for trying new things. He's losing his energy. He starts thinking negatively that he can't do it, that he won't be able to succeed. And what's the point for trying? When the outcome, although he's trying so hard, the outcome is nowhere close to his peers who have spent so much less time working on the same thing. He fears of failure. He's experiencing this so often, he doesn't want to try new things. And gradually he stops believing in himself and his abilities. Now, how can teachers help? First of all, teachers need to understand dyslexia, what dyslexia is about, and the kind of difficulties the students experience daily. They need to see the student as a whole person with individual strengths and weaknesses, take advantage of the strengths, and try to make learning fun and realistic. Create a positive and encouragement environment in the classroom, a supportive environment, and make sure the students experience success daily. That's fundamental. It's very important to teach students how to read and write and tackle the difficulties effectively. And teachers can do this if they follow a highly structured intervention program, if they adopt appropriate teaching methods. This way, students will experience a sense of achievement, progress, and success. It's very important to compare their own progress to their own previous progress rather than comparing themselves to their peers. This way, the self-esteem will be boosted, the self-belief, they start believing they can do it. They're optimistic, they're positive. And this way, students will be able to achieve their full potential at school and possibly in their lives, because we're talking about smart kids that have a lot of potential. Now, I'm very excited and very proud to announce that in TESOL Greece, we have a new special interest group called Specific Learning Differences. Now, in the annual convention on the 3rd and the 4th of March in Athens, we're going to have our first elections. So please come and join us, because we would like to raise awareness among teachers about specific learning differences, what they're about, and how can they support the learners and be as good as possible. I would like to thank TESOL Greece, BELTA, and EFLtalks for organizing such an amazing event. Thank you for watching.